Brian, 200 games. What's the significance of the achievement for you?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, to be honest with you. That went to the draft camp in the year 2000, and missing out on that, and then getting drafted in 2001 was probably a little bit of a surprise. I thought I might have missed the boat a little bit. So you come over here and go to the Bulldogs at pick 71, and getting my first game in my first year was such a great thrill, and now, as 11 years later, to be playing 200 games, it's something I definitely didn't expect.
And just on the win on Saturday night, how have the boys pulled up, and you'd be pretty happy with the way that panned out that game?
Yeah, I haven't seen the boys yet. We start a little bit later on Mondays with training, but yeah, to go over to Adelaide and get a win, it's very hard to win over there, so the guys are pretty pumped. To go into the season now after having 6 tough games, to be 5-1's a pretty good start for the year.
How did you feel the backline performed Saturday night?
Yeah, the backline's been pretty good all year. Obviously against North Melbourne last week, we had a little bit more ball than we'd like to down there, but the guys have been really good. Even on the weekend with Birch being a little bit quiet, Gibbo's able to stand up, Sam Mitchell as well, so got a lot of versatility, and the guys have been pretty solid down there.
How are you finding gelling in there?
Yeah, it's definitely a different way of playing than I'm used to. So as I said, the synergy, the working together with Gibbo and the other defenders, it's going to take a little bit of time, but so far so good.
Were there things that you just couldn't answer? You actually got out there and played some.
Yeah, and that's the disappointing thing when you do most of the pre-season and do some training with the guys and get injured in NAB Cup. Not being able to get that work in and playing with the guys in NAB Cup definitely puts you behind the 8 ball. But yeah, catching up now with that, and there's only so many videos and reviews you can do, but as soon as you get out there, it's a different story.
So what sorts of things are starting to come a little bit more naturally to you?
Just the defensive side of it. I'm used to obviously standing on my man and just doing that. Like the old-fashioned days where you had your full forwards, you didn't go out of the 50-metre arc. So just different things, chopping and changing. It's not just myself standing on one guy. It's other guys I've got to cover for as well. So and vice versa, the other guys. We don't have real set opposition, so it's just been a lot more versatile and probably providing a little bit more run as well.
Just back on the milestone, what's this fresh start done for you, sort of physically, mentally?
Yeah, it's definitely freshened me up, no doubt about that. Being at a club for so long, probably get a little bit complacent in things you do and your attitudes around the club as well. So to come to a club that's pushing for obviously for top 4 at the moment, but for the ultimate glory, it's definitely gives you a little bit more energy and excitement, definitely.
And you mentioned there were periods during your time at Bulldogs especially where you thought you might not have made this milestone. Just reflect on that a little bit and how much it means to you to get this second chance, and obviously to push for that flag now, which would be a nice way to finish your life.
Yeah, playing footy, it was very tough times at the Bulldogs in 03, 04 when Peter Rowe took over and Campbell Rose came into the club, and some guys had to take pay cuts, and I guess the uncertainty of the club surviving wasn't easy. So you go into games, getting pumped a fair bit of the time as well. Then you come to the good times in sort of 08, 09, when Rocket took over. That's what you want to play football for. I was pretty successful in junior football with Woodville West Torrens back in Adelaide and won premierships and always been able to win games. It's definitely a shock to the system when you come in the AFL and things like that don't go your way. So I guess that's what sort of drives me now, is to become successful as an individual, being able to win a premiership, but the team side of it as well. Then that's probably when I enjoyed my football the most, was in those 08, 09 seasons when the sides were going well.
Has Buddy calmed down a bit? He seemed a bit frustrated with going goals.
Oh yeah, as I said, I haven't seen him yet, but he's still playing his role. He's bringing the ball to ground. Other guys in the forward line are contributing as well. So yeah, I've seen for him personally, he'd like to be kicking goals, but what he's doing for the side now is he's doing his role.
A few people, experts or commentators, whatever you like, have sort of maybe suggested that his contract is weighing heavily. Is that something that you're seeing, or not at all?
I've had that issue back when I had to sign my contract as well, and I don't see it as a distraction for me personally when I was in that situation. Not at all.
Did you think a couple of years ago when you were going through your injuries, did you think physically you'd be capable of getting to 200 and beyond?
Yeah, that was definitely a tough year, 2011. It wasn't a happy place to be, and I always thought, I knew myself that I could get back. It was just so many injuries in a short space of time that up to that point I hadn't missed a game through injury, so I was going pretty well, and I guess you get comfortable thinking injuries aren't going to affect my career, but then you have 3 surgeries in a pre-season, and I just couldn't catch up, and copped a fair bit of heat for that year, but I guess getting the body right and get a full pre-season in the year after that, and being able to play some good football last year just gave myself a lot of confidence back in my body.
And have you got your enjoyment back? Was that something that you lost when you were going through all that?
Yeah, it was a tough year. You definitely lose a lot of self-confidence, and when everyone's having a crack at you for your performances and attitude as well, it definitely wasn't easy.
Up against the Swans, I mean, you weren't there in September, but do you feel, talking to the guys, that it's something that still sits in their gut, that they want to really get one back?
Yeah, it's not any time you want to be losing a grand final. It's never easy, but to the guys' credit, we haven't talked about it too much. I was at the game, but I was in the crowd watching. But we knew it was a tough start to the season for us to be 5-1, and against Sydney now, if we can get over the line and go into 6-1, it was a pretty good start.
What have you made of their start to the season? What's stood out for them so far?
For Sydney? To be honest, I haven't really watched too many of their games. You get so focused on week by week what you've got to do. So we'll go through a review of the Adelaide game on today, and a little bit tomorrow. Then we'll get into Sydney then and see what. We're obviously with their midfield, that's probably the area of most concern, but with their forwards as well, they're pretty dangerous.
Have you played on Reed before, or Goods? Who are you likely to match up on?
Yeah, I played on a few of those guys. You got Pike as well, and Mumford sometimes goes deep in their forward line as well. So just got to be versatile. We've got some tools down back. They've got some tools up forward, so it's just chopping and changing depending on where they line up.
How much footy have you still got in you, Brian, do you think? Because you sort of came here and it was perceived as being where you're going to finish up your career, but how much have you got to go?
Before pre-season started, I thought maybe only a couple of years, but to be honest, the way my body's pulling up now after stripping down a little bit in weight, I don't see an ending anytime soon, to be honest. The knee's the best it's felt for a very long time. Getting no soreness even after games or anything like that. I can get back running pretty much straight after a game. So if we've been able to do that, it's been a long time since that's happened. So all the other injuries that I had, the shoulder, hips, are beautiful at the moment. So I'm not going to say 3 years' time I'm going to be retiring or anything like that. Probably might be a Dustin Fletcher and playing until I'm nearly 40, but fingers crossed I can get a few more good years out of me.